to another episode here in the Cozy Kitchen. There is nothing worse than working a long day and then thinking to yourself, what am I gonna eat? That is why I like sharing recipes like today with you. You can make it ahead of time. It's filled with flavor. And that way, when you're tired and you come home and you just want a nice hearty meal, you can go in the fridge, you can grab some leftovers, and you can enjoy a nice, satisfying recipe that you put together yourself. Today's recipe does not require a lot of ingredients. It doesn't require a lot of prep time. And it's also healthy. You can actually just get it going on the stove, then do your thing, come back to it, and it will be even more flavorful and ready for you to enjoy. So today we are making sweet potato and black bean chili. If you like meat and you're looking for a meat chili, go check out my turkey chili recipe. It's also here on the channel. This is a vegetarian recipe that is filled with flavor. You are going to be scooping the bottom of that bowl for more and more and more. Trust me on that. I don't think there's anything else to say, but we get right to this recipe. So let's get to it. Let's make some sweet potato and black bean chili. The very first thing that you're going to want is one large pot, which I have over there on my stove. We are going to cook our chili in that large pot. You're also going to want to preheat your oven to 425 degrees. The first thing that we're going to do is roast our sweet potatoes. For today's recipe, you will need 4 small to medium sized sweet potatoes. Here I have my 4 sweet potatoes that I've already sliced into quarters. I've hit them with just a pinch of kosher salt, drizzled on some olive oil, tossed them all together, and they're here in my tray. My oven has been preheating and it is ready at 425 degrees. So the very first thing we're gonna do is put these sweet potatoes into the oven and get them roasting. I have those sweet potatoes in the oven. They are roasting at 425 degrees. I'm very excited about my sweet potatoes. There are a few things that I enjoy or eat more than roasted sweet potatoes. When you roast vegetables, it just brings out the natural sugars of the vegetable and just kind of enhances every bite. While those sweet potatoes go in the oven, we can start to work on our chili. So I have my one large pot over there. In that large pot that we have on the stove, we just want to cover the bottom with olive oil and turn that heat to medium high. We want that oil to raise in temperature, and then once that oil is nice and fragrant, we will add in our first ingredient. While that oil raises in temperature, you can grab one small white onion. We're going to dice that onion up. I have my one diced onion right here. My oil is now fragrant. We're going to add in this diced onion into that oil, hit it with just a pinch of kosher salt, and get it sauteing in that pot. Here I have 2 chipotle peppers and adobo sauce. You can find these at the grocery store. They're typically in the condiment aisle where the ketchup, mayonnaise, all that stuff will be. These are one of my favorite ingredients. We actually used to use these in quite a few of our dishes at our LA pop-up restaurant, Nana's, and they pack a lot of flavor. They are just jalapenos that have been dried and smoked, and then they're packed into this really flavorful tomato-based sauce with a bunch of spices. These are going to help bring a lot of flavor to this chili today. So you're going to want to take 2 peppers, slice them up, add about a tablespoon of the sauce that they're marinating in. After the onions have been sauteing in that oil for about 3 minutes, we can add in our chipotle chilies in with the onion and get it going in that oil. After you've added in those chipotle chilies, you can also add in 4 minced garlic cloves and give that all a toss. The next ingredient for our sweet potato and black bean chili is going to be our black beans. I have 2 15-ounce cans of black beans that I've already washed and drained. You can add them into that pot with the onions and all of our other ingredients. In addition to that cilantro, you're also going to want to add in 1 tablespoon of chili powder, a half a tablespoon of cumin, and a half a tablespoon of paprika. I also have some dried thyme and some dried oregano. We're going to add 1 teaspoon of dried thyme. We're also going to add in half a teaspoon of dried oregano. Thyme has sort of an earthy, minty flavor. It has notes of citrus, and it's just going to help to bring all of the flavors of today's chili together. It's one of those things that has a distinct flavor, but it doesn't really like punch you in the face. Oregano, on the other hand, is very pungent. So we're only going to be using a half a teaspoon of dried oregano. We're going to add both of those into the pot, give that all a stir, and then we'll add in our sweet potatoes. I just took my sweet potatoes out of the oven. They were in the oven at 425 degrees for about 25 minutes. We're going to throw these sweet potatoes into that pot with all of our other ingredients and get it going. Now that my sweet potatoes are in that pot, we are also going to add 1 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes. Once you've added in those crushed tomatoes, you're also going to want to add in 2 cups of vegetable broth and 1 cup of water. We're going to hit everything with just a pinch of kosher salt, pinch of black pepper, raise the heat to high, and then once it starts to bubble, we're going to drop the temperature to a simmer, put that lid on and just let it cook on that stove. The chili is now simmering on the stove. I have the lid on. I like to allow the chili to simmer for at least an hour, but let me tell you something, the chili is going to taste even better as the day goes on and into tomorrow and later in the week. I always like to serve this chili over a little bit of white rice and then top that chili with a little bit of sharp cheddar cheese as well as some lime zest. That's how I'm going to serve it today. It's going to be great. I will see you in an hour. We are back. That chili has been simmering on the stove with the lid on for a little bit over an hour. I'm getting excited. I just took the lid off. Hit me right in the face. It smells so good. I'm getting excited to eat. Can you tell? Before I serve that chili, what I like to do is just blend some of that chili up. I blend about 70 to 80% of that chili up. You don't want to make it into like a smoothie consistency, but all those ingredients that have been cooking in that pot for the past hour or so, they've softened now. So we just want to break them up. If you put it into a blender, you can just pulse it a few times. If you have an immersion blender, you can use an immersion blender. I just went through with my own immersion blender and just kind of broke down some of those ingredients, adding a little bit more of a textural difference with the chili. And then once you do so, there is nothing else to do but eat. And here we have it, the sweet potato and black bean chili. I just topped my chili off with a little bit of shredded cheddar cheese, as well as some lime zest just to brighten everything up. I put my chili right over my white rice that I cooked. It smells so good. It makes for a nice weeknight meal. I can't wait any longer. I gotta dive in. Have a bite. This chili is packed with flavor. There are not many ingredients as you saw, but it's the spices and those chipotle peppers and adobo. I can tell you, they bring the heat. They bring everything together in this dish, and it makes for a really delicious, really flavorful vegetarian chili. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you like this video, please give it a like. If you're not subscribed to my channel, hit that subscribe button. I will see you very soon for another recipe here in the Cozy Kitchen. In the meantime, I'm gonna go have some more chili. Thank you guys.